Welcome back to The Evil Within. This is The Quick and the Dead speed run through the main storyline. You can see we have about an hour and a half left to still beat the game and get the achievement. The achievement is to complete the entire game in under 5 hours. We're running on a casual New Game Plus. We've got fully uploaded weapons, fully upgraded Sebastian. You can see that we're starting chapter 13. So we have 13, 14, and 15 left to complete in an hour and a half. Gives us about a half an hour per chapter.
Kidman!
Of course, we're hoping to be a little faster than that, but pick up some resources that are close by, but you don't want to go too far out of your way for those resources. And if you run that kind of to the right there, you can skip the dialogue between Sebastian and Joseph where they're looking down at the bus, the crashed bus. You remember at the end of chapter 12, chapter 12 is called The Ride, and the ride was the bus at the end, and Kidman driving, and Rubik threw us into this high-rise building, which turns out to be a hotel. In the DLCs, Kidman survives that crash. She starts her chapter 4 down a few floors from here.
Jesus.
You can't skip this cutscene. I mean, it's not really a cutscene, but you can't skip this dialogue.
Is that a subway sticking out of the ground?
Yeah, but look how it's positioned. If we can get over there, we might be able to use it to get across.
Let's just concentrate on getting out of here.
So now that that conversation's over, you can drop the elevator. In Kidman's The Consequence, chapter 4, she sees that elevator come crashing down in front of her. So she's on a lower floor. Not sure exactly how she got out of the bus at the right moment to be on the lower floor.
Don't risk it. Hold on. I think I see another way down. I'll meet you on a lower level.
Chapter 13 turns out to be kind of a fun chapter, or at least it was fun for us. The hotel, getting through the hotel, presents some challenges, but there are a plethora of ways to deal with them. I've even learned a few more since the running of this. This was the first time that this was the first of the challenge runs that we attempted for the game. If you've been watching our channel, you probably already saw the It Is What It Is challenge run. That came after this run. This was the first run, so... But here, of course, our goal is to get through it as quickly as possible, so very little stealth going to be involved. Sometimes stealth is useful, but sometimes it's... can just slow things down. Totally forgot that was there. My goal was to get up behind him and try to stealth kill him, but most of my goal is to not necessarily bother with killing anything, just get by it. This path seems to work for getting by things. I usually have to kill him though, so that I have time to do this part. This, of course, would not work on Akamu. I'm not even sure it works on survival. There should have been a Ruvik somewhere. False Ruvik. I believe on casual he's not there. Or at least we didn't see him, so. Now, here the best approach is to just let him walk off. I mean, if you try to fight him, he'll be going around. So we're just trying to let him walk off. You can see that he's oblivious as long as you stay behind him. It seems strange to be that close behind him, but you know it works. So just go right behind him, give you time to get a few more resources off of one of his traps. So we ran this chapter in just 11 minutes and 20 seconds. That's a little less than a minute behind our references. Our references ran them in 10 minutes 32 seconds and 11 minutes 10 seconds. So we're very close to one of our references and just a little behind the other.
Haven't you figured it out yet?
You have to have this conversation or you can't get the door behind you to open up.
Has to let them know he has the upper hand. Lays out the bait, gets his victim all worked up.
I really do like the games that are directed by Shinji. They're very cinematic, and the storyline is usually, it may be convoluted and kind of, there may be even some consistency loopholes in there, here and there, but that's fine. They're high on storyline, which is what Jackie and I love.
Am I going crazy?
But when you're trying to do a speed run, it's sometimes annoying. But at least they set the times right in the challenges, so they know that there's a certain amount of video that you just have to watch, and so they give you 5 hours to complete the game. If you could skip every cutscene, they might have dropped that down to 2 hours. Probably not, but 4 hours or something. I've since learned you might be able to just... No, I'm shooting horribly. Finally. Since he had his back to you, I've seen runners run by all that and just duck in that little cubby. I wasn't confident that I could get in the cubby before the explosion, so... Of course, if I had shot better, it would have only cost the time of shooting one bullet, so... It's not a big cost time waste. It was if you're going to miss the way I was shooting, but get good, do better. Another one of those cinematic scenes that you just have to see. Joseph's got a problem. Oops, now you've got a bigger problem.
Oh God!
Now I've seen different people arguing different placements of bolts. This works for me. To be fair, you don't have to use an electric bolt to kill them. But having it there turned out to be nice because I think that was because I hit that tripwire instead of disarming it. To be safe, you probably want to drop an electric bolt behind. I don't know why I'm having a hard time getting him to stick to the task. Certainly on harder difficulties, there are other Roombas that come out. Yeah, okay, so they do here too. Roombas, you hear that beeping? Those are proximity bomb Roombas. Didn't stop for the ammunition pickup there.
You again?
This guy turns out to not be too hard of a problem for our upgraded weapons. But he apparently is bigger than one bolt. Or maybe he wasn't. It just took him a second to take fire damage. You can shoot the Roombas. You don't have to necessarily use an electric bolt on them. You can shoot them with, like, say, a shotgun, or even a handgun, but it's easier to hit them with a shotgun. Dismantle them that way. But really, you just need to kill that guy once and get over to the elevator. On casual, with fully upgraded Sebastian, you can take the damage from the Roomba.
Fuck.
The other side of this is Kidman in Chapter 4 going through the lower kitchens, and she hears use your explicitive there in the dumbwaiter, and she pushes the button, and she gets the achievement called True Hero for saving Sebastian. So you can thank Kidman for this dumbwaiter opening. The two never see each other. They don't see each other in the DLC either. So, but she's apparently just a few moments ahead of you. So we mentioned at the beginning of the video that we have about an hour and a half to complete the 3 chapters, 13, 14, and 15. We're going to complete this one in just over, like I said, just over 11 minutes. So that gives us a lot of time for chapters 14 and 15. We're going to include chapter 14 here, so stay tuned. Don't go away now. This is the end of chapter 13, but this is starting chapter 14 right away. Chapter 14 was only slightly longer. It took our references 16 and a half minutes.
You've got to be alive.
And 13 and 3/4 minutes. So oddly, the person with the longer time took shorter on this particular episode than the person with the shortest time of our references. We do it in 15.15 minutes. That puts us a total of 24 minutes behind our fastest reference, who had over an hour left when he completed the game. So our references do it in 16 and a half minutes and 13 and 3/4 minutes. We do it in 15 and 1/4 minute. We're not our references are not the world champions, so they're the ones that were on TrueAchievements and GameFaqs. So. The subway, there's a lot of time that could be spent up there before you come down, but really just want to, speedrun, you just want to rush down. You want to get to this area as fast as you can. I still find that sniping from here speeds everything up for me. Of course, I'm apparently still not shooting well, but there we go. You might think taking the time to do the sniping versus just running up there would be slower. I find the sniping goes pretty well, so. Now, I've learned since then that if you do that part right, you can avoid some traps. You have to go slower because you have to go stealthily. But these two people wouldn't be here. Of course, on casual, fully upgraded shotgun, made very quick work of both of those enemies, so I guess it's not a big deal. Again, you can see we're kind of brute force method. I mean, that was our goal. Our goal was to set ourselves up with a lot of energy, a lot of stamina, really high-powered rifles, handguns, and weapons, and just push hard. That was our goal for when we started. Like I said, this was our first run, so there were a lot of nuances that we didn't learn.
Gotta be a way to get up there.
It's arguable as to which one's a better preparation for what. Doing speed runs so that you kind of know what you can avoid and what you can just run by might help you with the It Is What It Is and the Akumu runs. However, there's an awful lot that we're learning from doing our Akumu run that would have made the speed run maybe faster. But the placement between the Akumu, placement of the foes in Akumu is different from what it is in standard and or survival and casual. So they don't translate nearly as well as I might have hoped. Figured I'd just leave him hanging around. You can wake him up with a just throwing a bottle at him and wait for him to walk into the electricity. Of course, it's faster to just shoot him if you've got plenty of ammo. And we're still running at what, 46 rounds of handgun ammo. Just picked up some more. Now we're at 52 rounds of ammo. Ammo's not a problem. You have to come down there far enough to trigger him to come out. We learned during It Is What It Is that you can step on those guys, and that would have probably been quicker than that number of handgun shots. Of course, you know at the end of the chapter, near where you get to where you're fighting that squid creature, I forget what they call him, but you don't miss this. If you miss this, you have to reload, because it's an end of the game. You're trapped there permanently until you die, I guess, not permanently. But towards the end of this, they give you a massive amount of ammo drop just before you get to the final boss fight. Well, it's not the final boss fight, but the final boss fight of this chapter. And so really you can be kind of extravagant, even with your handgun here. Our plan for the boss is to use an electric bolt. If we run out of electric bolts, frost bolts, to hold him in place and kill him with the Magnum. So we have a fully upgraded Magnum, firing as fast as it can and doing 200% Magnum damage. So you see, it was kind of an effective idea. We can also carry a lot of matches. You'll see in It Is What It Is when we can only carry 5 at a time. We don't have a stack of them, so we have to use a match, go find a match. So. We're now past anywhere we've been in Kumu mode. So I can't say what this is going to be like in that mode, but I'm sort of dreading it, because this can be a challenge. Get so many of those, I forget what they call them, but the two-headed creatures. You can see how they've stacked up on me. Of course, in the Kumu, you can't do that. That you're dead when that happens. So seems like chance of that working is about 0. Should have turned around. Should have had a plan for dealing with them somehow. One thing you can do if you have a large group like that, if you can knock one down and burn them, you can catch a whole bunch of them in that fire. Normally they come back around that really quickly, but you can see they're stacked up there. It did work to just kind of run through them. Only got chewed on by the one guy. Hopefully I do this well. When I'm pushing this hard, I sometimes don't aim very well. You can see he pulled me up once, so I haven't hit him in the face well enough. I'm missing completely. Wow, that was actually close. There's so many times during this game that I can't find my reticle. I probably should have changed the color. I kind of left everything on just defaults. I didn't try to customize the interface.
Some kind of nest.
But the reticle was clearly above him. I could see it in the video, but I couldn't see it at the time. So, but here you'll start to see the cache of shotgun rounds and handgun ammo. Some health. Now I went down here and got this fuse. I believe you can do it without getting that fuse. So you could probably cut a few seconds off.
Shit, this is dead.
Getting the fuse is going to wind up opening the door to our right at the moment, and an area at the end that was back there where you got that fuse. after you get the generator running, after you've killed the boss.
Damn it. What am I, an electrician?
There's obviously resources in those areas that open up. Some good resources. I may have been thinking it might be worth it. I don't know if I actually bothered to pick those resources up or not. That shot happens automatically. It's not like the last one. You don't actually have to aim or anything. It just happens as part of the directed cutscene, if you will. So our goal here is to switch to the crossbow, pin him with an electric bolt, and use the shot. Okay, chose the shotgun. I really thought I would have used the Magnum. I guess I was keeping pinned in place and just keep pounding on him. Unfortunately, he didn't drop anything useful, but the shotgun, the fully upgraded shotgun, didn't need the Magnum. Magnum might have done it faster, though. It looks like I wasted time getting that fuse because I didn't even check to see if I needed those resources that were opened up by that. Alright, well, that was the major boss fight for the chapter. It's kind of the last major boss fight until the final boss fight. Getting close to the end of the chapter. A little bit of running. You'll notice in the it is what it is, I ran by the very last of the keys right there. That's okay. We still got the achievement open. The rest is mostly this cutscene. It's not really a cutscene. It forces you to walk from each one of these bars. It says you will suffer. Can't run at this moment. That's as fast as they'll let you move. So normal gameplay, when you're exploring everything, picking everything up you can, chapters 13 and 14 are actually fairly long chapters, but when you're speedrunning, you find that a whole lot of that deals with your exploration. Not really necessary. Gonna have one last of these stim rooms.
You've published my research in your name again.
Another
Did
ghost
you think I wouldn't find out?
discussion that we can't skip.
You have no credentials. You'd never appear in a reputable journal otherwise.
And so I'll pick that up because I have nothing else to do.
The world knows you even exist.
They're going to have this conversation. This is the conversation where
Past you in
Jimenez
every
brought
way you can
3
imagine.
goons with him from Mobius
No
that,
matter.
that take
I have what I need. All that's
Rubik.
left is the
Well,
procedure.
he looks like Rubik here, but at the time he was
That is
Ruben.
why we are here.
We?
During the Kidman DLCs,
You wouldn't dare.
the Doctor expresses some surprise at what happened to Ruben,
Precisely.
but I swear to me it seemed like he knew exactly what was going to happen here, because even notes coming up to this says, you know, we can run it with him, parts of him, so he should have known what was going to happen. But in the Kidman DLCs, his tapes, his recorded tapes, he seems surprised by what happens to Ruben. Just like in previous parts of the game, you just need to knock him down, disconnect him from the Matrix. You need some distance between them, or you need them all on the ground at the same time. It's not particularly hard, but Just need to be careful of trying to grab one while one's very close to it. I was thinking I could reload. I did. Filled up. Okay. That is pretty much all of the action for the chapter. Hope you've enjoyed it so far. Just one episode to go. Chapter 15 starts tomorrow. Hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.